The general topic for today, I reckon, we cover to get clear, all right, is pretty much on the road to solidifying faith, making the faith stronger.
Correct.
That's what I guess this whole, everything we always talk about is we're trusting the process.
The process, God, the universe,
All right,
we're not alone.
Let's start from the top. When I speak to cunts at work, I'm like, just trust. Now, what am I telling them to trust? What the fuck am I?
They're not going to work it out.
They're not going to work it out. But what are we trying to explain? Like, when we talk about have faith, when I talk about have faith, you can have faith in God.
You can.
Right? You can have faith in, when I say it, I mean, I got faith in like the system, the system that is the universal system, the way shit works. That's when I say I've got faith in the system and I'm working with the system. Now, the system is, for all intents and purposes, is God.
Correct.
Right? But the way I look at it is, have faith that if you do X, Y, Z, fucking...
She works out.
It's going to equal B. I don't know what the fuck.
First of all, you got to believe there is a system. You got to identify that, hey, where does this all come from? So if you're telling somebody like, Joe Blow or someone at work, have faith, like, what's the guy talking about? You know what I mean? You got to identify like, hey, this thing actually exists.
What is this thing?
So,
in your opinion, the way you look at it, not specifically.
Yeah, so it's very deep, obviously. For me, it's God, that basically, if you look at even science, right, the chances of us being here is like millions to one, you know what I mean?
Forget
like
about it.
Billions, just that alone.
Right.
So you got to, look at it from different areas. Like, this creates the belief.
Right.
And once you got the belief, then you can have the faith. Because if you don't believe someone's got your back, God's got your back, or the universe got your back, and everything's, working in your favor, you can't have the faith of like, all right, so I'm just going to surrender and let go and, everything's on the path. You know what I mean? So going back to it, the foundation's got to be there.
So in other words, you believe that there's a system other than yourself.
Correct.
That is at play.
That's organising this whole shit.
Organising. Do you believe that this system is in symphony or works in conjunction with you? Is that how you look at it?
I do. So it depends if you get it from depends which way you look at it. If you look at it from a religious point of view,
you tell me you.
Yeah, for me, I take it because I've looked at the religious part. I've looked at the scientific part. I've looked at just like through my life experience as well, right? So just to break it down for everybody here, right? The scientific part is that one of those that it's 1 billion to 1 that you're here, Sweet. Then the religious part is like like Jesus says, like don't stress, like if you see that the birds or animals out there or whatever, how do they live? They don't go to work, you know what I mean? Who feeds them?
Yep.
You know what I mean? How does the sun rise? How does the sun set? Who's in control of this order?
Cool.
All right?
Yeah.
Now,
but in your personal world,
I'll tell you.
Sweet.
I'll get to it.
We get that.
Yeah.
All right. Sweet.
No, it just comes.
You started. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, who's in charge of this order? Now, you can't disagree that who's changing the, who's controlling these events? You know what I mean?
Okay.
So if the sun sets, the sun rises, birds are fed, then you're part of this reality.
Yeah, this ecosystem.
Sweet.
If you will.
So the facts are that if everything else has been taken care of, everything, and I mean fucking everything, the oceans, the fucking sky, the
molecules,
everything,
whatever the fuck.
Okay. I can't believe that if everything's taken care of, everything, and I'm part of this reality, okay, that I'm left out.
Okay.
Okay, I can't, but go against that.
Okay. The ego obviously goes.
The ego,
that.
of course, the ego says, "Look, yeah, sweet," but the ego doesn't even explain it. All right, the ego's like, "Sweet, that's all that," but you are different.
Yeah.
And it gives you. I wouldn't say let's use evidence. Okay, I don't want to use it, but evidence like, "Oh yeah, look at your life, John. It's shit. You don't have money. You don't have this. You don't have that. You don't have that." I'm like, "Oh, that's right." Okay. And we judge it on past or current results. And then you look at it like, oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, everything else is getting sorted. The bird doesn't have to go to work, but the bird doesn't, have a home loan. You know what I mean? There's other animals don't, have to provide for their children, whatever. You know what I mean?
Correct.
And you can find all these little
reasons
to attack, exactly. You know what I mean? And the ego just all it's trying to do is separate you from God or the reality, okay, and make you feel like shit, really.
Correct.
And that controls your life. That's it. It wants control. But if you get to be, I'm part of that same reality that everything's been taken care of, I don't need to stress. I don't need to control anything because I'm going to get served like everything else is being served and taken care of. You know what I mean? So that's the way I look at it, that we are not different, okay, or separate from everything else.
All right, that's your hook.
That's right. And if everything else has been taken care of, I'm taken care of as well. The reason why I might feel I'm not taken care of, because that's all it is.
Yes.
It's a feeling that convinces you that you're not taken care of.
Correct.
It's just your ego. That's it.
And your ego from the beliefs of you need certain things to happen for you to...
Yeah, exactly. Because it's all about control again. If you believe that I'm going to be taken care of, or God's got my back like it does for the birds, okay, then I don't need the ego. I don't need to control anything. So the ego ceases, I wouldn't say ceases to exist, maybe it does. I don't know. I'm not 100%.
It doesn't cease.
Yeah, it takes a back seat.
The ego works in conjunction.
The
operating system always works there.
That's right. And we said before on that walk, just to reiterate this thing, is who's the master and who's the servant? You, the higher self, the Ken that was made by God, okay, he's the boss.
He's the boss.
That's it. And the ego is the pupil or, is a student here. But for most people, could be like 99% of the population, it's the other way around. The ego is the master and Ken or the higher self or the person is the student and it takes orders.
It takes orders, brother. So, sweet. So in that case, if I say to you oh, this is the thing. I think judgment is part of the ego.
Yes.
So when something doesn't go my way, all right, I think accountability is one of the most important things because...
Of course.
I just think I like to be accountable because it gives me more control.
Yes.
If I'm palming off to some other cunt, I feel like they've got it. It's got nothing to do with me. I'd rather be the dumb cunt who fucked up because at least I know I can change that. I've got a chance. I've got a hope. That's how I'm manipulated in my head. And the reason why I believe that there's a system called the universe that works with us in conjunction with us is because of all the things I've seen. The part that cunts can't get in their fucking head is that their thoughts create their reality. That's the part when I say to you, God only works in conjunction with you, with what you're thinking and what you're feeling, not what you're, some other shit. It only speaks to the truth.
That's right.
The truth.
But it also...
It's not even the truth.
No, look, it is the truth on a different level, right?
It's a truth.
Yeah, but the reason why God or the universe might not be working with you, okay, is because you're not allowing. There's an energy, there's a flow, and you're going against the current. That's all it is. You're not going with the current. Now, when it's about being upset, right? The only reason, and this is the only reason, okay, that someone might get upset or emotional or down, okay, the culprit here, there's only one culprit, okay, and it's a let's say a tactic of the ego.
So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
One word.
Expectation.
Okay. You cannot be surrendering, allowing, and have expectation.
No, it's impossible.
Okay. Now, if you
expectation and judging is like best mates.
That's right. So if you do have expectation, as you mentioned before, like, I expect this to go one way and it went another, all right? You are going to be upset. You are going to be down. But you should have no expectation at all, because you don't know. First of all, shit's out of your control. A bunch of people think like, oh no, I'm totally in control. I can go to work. Mate, you're not in control.
Yeah.
All right? At all. We've got the illusion of control. Okay? And if anyone, thinks back in their life, anyone listening now thinks back in their life, every time they've been upset about something is because they had a belief about something, and that belief was backed by an expectation.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, the majority of times, it doesn't work out the way you think.
No.
And we're going around losing our minds and being upset.
Why didn't it happen?
Why didn't it happen, the whole thing? Only because of that one word, expectation. That's it. If you remove the expectation, and I'm not telling someone not to try, but try a million things. Go to work, do your thing, whatever. But with no expectation, if you just remove that alone, you'd definitely be a lot happier in your life. For sure.
Correct. No, it's 100% to that, because the expectation / judgment, it's like when you use words like, it should have been like this and it should have been like that, should have, could have, would have.
That's expectation.
That is the killer. And it's and then there's another thing, like, why do we have expectations? Expectations come out of comfort. All right, because we want something to go a certain way, because then we don't have to use our energy.
Yeah, the tools of the ego.
Yeah, the energy. There's something about the way people covet or hold on to energy reserves in their body, whether it's I need to think more or I need to physically do something. I don't know what it is about that today, but like at work.
Yeah, we're conserving energy flat out.
Yeah, now I don't know why the ego loves to conserve energy. There's something how they get you by the balls, like the energy is limited. So therefore you base everything around, I've got to use less energy. I get the whole, back when we were hunter-gatherers, like, food was scarce.
Yeah, there's, I'm going to go out tomorrow, I'm going to hunt, this and that.
It's got to be worth it.
Yeah, but we didn't evolve.
But there was no fat cunts then either.
We didn't evolve from the hunter-gatherer. When it comes to our psyche, we're still preserving energy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have to go and hunt.
Yeah, it's a belief to a degree.
Yeah, but sometimes that sort of carried over.
It did carry over, especially in the modern day where we don't have to do all that shit you're saying.
That's it.
We have to, we go to Macca's or drive.
We should have all the energy in the world.
Yeah, correct.
I can sit here and get an Uber Eats.
Yeah, but there's but you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
There's a feeling that says, I can't be fucked.
No, I know that. But I'm saying that part of the psyche hasn't evolved. You got all the energy in the world.
Yeah, but it's also, I think, there's a reason why I think the way I think, and the reason why, and I believe I was taught that. I'm not an exemption. There's a reason why I'm aware of, like, why is it so hard to do these things? Why do you always need a break, a rest? Why is that?
Look.
Like, we all need a rest, but I'm talking about...
No, of course, everyone needs some sleep. Obviously, we're not saying...
Sleep, yeah, but to a degree.
Another reason why this sleep and, this energy comes around, and this is a big one, it could be the one, okay, is inspiration.
Inspiration.
Okay? Now, let's say, for example, I always use the example about traveling, all right? Let's go Monday to Friday, I'm going to work, right?
Inspirational motivation.
No, inspiration.
Okay.
Inspiration.
Okay.
All right. Now, Monday to Friday, I've got a shit job, whatever. Everything is just, I just feel like tired, the whole thing, right? This is the analogy I'm going to give you, right? So, they feel defeated, they've got no energy, they're going to go to work, nothing's really shining in their life, and they're just down, right? Sweet. And they always feel tired. If someone calls them around the other day and says, hey, tomorrow morning, mate, your boss said it's okay, you got some time off, I organised it, all right? We're going overseas, I'm paying for everything, all right? But we're going to get a 5 a.m. flight, right? This person, and everyone can relate to this, I've had this before, all right? You'd find so much energy, this energy will just come out of nowhere, okay? And you're inspired to, because you'll be like, I'm going overseas, like, you know what I mean? Like, it won't be, you're pretty much taken out of that reality that you created. And it's something more joyful, something more pleasurable,
Yeah.
That's one way, right?
Yeah.
Also, if you're, like, for example, you don't have to drag us out of bed to come and do this podcast.
No.
But
I think we're inspired. We're not motivated.
That's what I'm saying to you.
No. But motivation comes from an external.
But I know
like you just won the lottery. That came from an external. That high is not going to last.
No, I know that.
That's
but what
right.
I'm trying to say to you is that it's just an example of how energy comes, right?
Yeah, correct. I'm just
Yeah.
getting the...
Yeah. Now, when it comes to the inspiration part, okay, is we're doing this podcast, or someone is getting paid to do what they love to do. They don't care how many hours they work. They can work around the clock. No sleep, no nothing, because they're inspired and they're doing what they love to do.
That's right.
Okay? But most people aren't inspired, and most people are not doing what they love to do, and they just got working a 9 to 5.
Correct.
Okay? And that's why they're feeling sluggish, they're feeling like, nothing's going their way, and they're just feeling flat.
That's right. So pretty much they're running on there's an energy reserve that we've got.
Correct.
That everyone runs on. The ego allows you to believe that it's limited. It is limited, all right. We get it, that it's limited to a point.
Yeah.
To a point. But there's a lot of stretch room.
Yeah. When it comes to the ego, it's fucking very limited.
It's like fucking, really, that's right. It's limited, all right. So therefore, you pick and choose what juice is worth what squeeze within your day.
Correct.
That's why we might turn to things that maybe give us back a bit of joy, drugs, drinking, whatever the fuck we choose to do, gamble.
Television series, marathon.
Yeah, everything that kind of gives back to us.
Yeah.
Like we got robbed of, we gave up something and then we got to get something back.
Yeah, we're giving our time to
That's
shit
right.
that we don't want to do, and
That's
we
right.
want to make more time for the shit that we want to do.
That's right. So that's where the fucking the trap is. It's that belief of like, I've only got this much, or I'm losing. That's one of the expectations.
Guaranteed.
Yeah, like I'm doing this thing, I'm losing something here, so I need to get it back. So I need to balance the tables.
Correct.
That's the killer.
Correct.
Do you have anything to say about that one?
I'm with you 100%, but yeah, it's all about a balancing act.
Like an example maybe that, I don't know, you got that maybe like, I'm giving so much over here, I've got to take it back over here. I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe
so
don't.
for example, my kids, like I'm giving every single thing every day. From the time I wake up to the time I go to sleep, I'm giving like everything. I'm doing like changing nappies, I'm, working, I'm, feeding, I'm cooking dinner, whatever. And come to night time, I'm so like depleted. I'm actually physically and mentally tired, all right? But because I write a Beehive blog, not only I make time for it, but I find the energy to do it, because for me it's inspiring. I like doing it. You know what I mean? But during the day, yeah, like fuck, I can't be doing too much. But I'm actually really burning energy because I'm actually doing things with the kids and that. But other people who don't have these priorities, okay, and they could be single, just go to work and come home, they've got all the time in the world, they've got less energy than I do.
Mm.
And I speak to a lot of people like, hey, what you do? Oh, can't be fucked, man. Like, what you doing the week? Oh, couldn't be bothered, this and that. Like, the way they talk is so negative, first of all. And second of all, it's like, mate, if you were looking at through the lens from the way I see it, mate, you should be like...
Flying.
You should be not only flying, but you should be fucking thanking God that you got all this fucking free time and no restrictions. It's just fucking green light to do what the fuck you want to do. Yeah, 100%.
It's a green light, yeah. Gotcha.
Well, you should really be fucking making the most of your life and your time.
Yeah, it's a trap. Eh? Like, that's why it's so hard to make changes.
Correct.
Because you're stuck in and you're like, all right, I'm already depleted, if you will. I have to do something extra above and beyond that might or might not pay dividends. That's
it. So, for example, these people that I speak to, friends, family, whatever, like, they don't even go to work. They don't work out at the gym, right? Single, fucking, all the time in the world. And like, oh, I can't be fucked. I'm tired from work. Take it easy. You're working 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, as you're saying, the working out part is not really giving them back in their head, because it's all about your mind. It's the way your mind works, yeah? The perception, exactly. Like, they're not getting anything. All right, sweet. They don't know the value of working out and being stronger.
Well, yeah.
They're just thinking like, it sounds like another job.
Yeah.
It's not pleasurable.
Correct. So this is where it ties into, I'm not going to pretty much improve on my life. I'm not going to do any personal development, because it's pretty much, if you believe in the ego and you're caught up in that whole ego, you believe that, first of all, you can't change.
Correct.
You can only do things in life, whether it's more money or more fucking around, celebratory things, drugs, whatever. You can, these things that fill your physical body, that's the only highs you're going to get.
Yeah. We're always seeking pleasure, always. And
Correct.
Working out doesn't really give you pleasure.
No. Working out is a personal development, a spiritual thing. Now, automatically, if you don't believe that working on yourself is not going to, the juice is not going to be worth a squeeze, that means you don't believe in the system.
No.
Because you don't know how the system
works.
Not. You don't know that the system pays dividends.
No.
And it's created that way because it's an invisible system. And obviously the biggest test is, can I feel better about myself? It's all part of the universal thing. So the way I look at it, if you're operating from a full ego perspective there, in the matrix, you're getting what you're getting in life, all right? It's projection of what's happening. The only way you're going to get different things is if you change who's steering the ship.
Your approach, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Who's running the game? Are you running the game, or is the ego running the game? But to take over, you got to start telling the ego that there's another boss here. What does that mean? That means you got to start looking after yourself. You got to start putting yourself first instead of putting your ego first, because it's either you or that cunt.
100%.
That's all the game is.
100%.
Once we do that and we take more accountability and say that I've got control in fucking what's going on here and the way I feel about shit, it's a different, I was telling this to Alex, it's different when you get to a place where you've gotten rid of all the bullshit to hold you back. That's one thing. It takes another mad cunt. It's another level to start creating, like, I'm writing now how I want it to go.
Correct.
That's a very advanced.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm at that stage where I'm just trying to stay out of trouble, let's say.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to fuck myself up, you know what I mean?
100%.
But I'm also trying to do the best for myself to then, see the fruits of my labor. Once I get to a certain point, I can start sharpening and start creating, let's say, sculpting the better life that I want today.
Yeah.
And I think it comes, that's how it comes.
No, for sure. Look,
you become more of a master.
100%. Going back to that is like the pleasure part, like the analogy of investment, a home or shares. You're always putting money in And at the start, no money is coming. You know what I mean? Like you're building an investment. But in the long term, this money's going to compound, it's going to grow. And you're like, fuck, I did really well 10 years ago or 20 years ago. You know what I mean? But at that time, there's not much joy out of it. There's not much pleasure out of it. You're always just giving.
Yep.
It's the same thing, and people will understand that analogy. When it's the same thing with with yourself. You need to invest.
Correct.
And that's with working out. That's with personal development, your mind, the whole thing. Yeah, you're not getting dividends right now. You know what I mean?
Correct. You reap what you sow.
Yeah. So you're just building. You can't buy a piece of land and unless you've got a tent, live in it straight away. You know what I mean?
That's right.
You've got to build the foundations. You've got to build the house. Once you build the house, you've got to furnish the fucker. Then once it's all done, blah, 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 you move in, you can sleep in there.
Yeah, correct.
You know what I mean? So it's no different from this house. You know what I mean?
Correct.
You've got to build the house.
You've got to build the house, brother. So the more you invest in yourself.
That's it.
Now, what does it mean to invest in yourself? Like if you got a telecount, what's the standards of that?
The standard
in your
is
opinion.
The standard is physical, okay, which is working out, because you got to be physically strong and healthy. Because if you're not, then nothing else matters. If you can't get out of bed,
what's the fucking
you could
point?
be a billionaire. Sweet, all right.
Correct.
That's cool.
So the vehicle needs to be some sort of a standard.
That's right. And then internally and then spiritually as well. So
but
basically,
by doing that helps that one.
That's it.
Obviously.
So your mind, they all work together.
They all work together.
Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. All one. You know
all
what I mean?
one.
So the mind. What are you telling yourself every single day? You speak to yourself. And people don't believe that. Maybe they speak to themselves, but they do.
They do.
What's the story you're telling yourself? Like I get up in the morning and like shit happened. Like do you react to it? Some negative stuff that might happen. You react to it. It's all that. It's a story you're telling yourself every single day.
Yep.
Okay. And then the spiritual, the faith that, hey, you know what? Yeah, I'm working out. Yeah, I'm, doing personal development and, getting my mind right. Okay. But spiritually, how do I feel inside? Is like, fuck, I believe, there's someone, there's God, God's there. He's got my back. He's on the path with me. I'm not alone. I'm not walking alone. And so you're building that spiritual part as well. And that's it. Like if you aim, bless you, for these three areas, and even if you just tweak them and improve slightly 1%, you're not going to be the same person.
Correct. And the whole point, what are you actually shaping this person? What's your framework? Do you know what I mean? Everyone's got a different framework, right?
Yeah.
So, you can tell people, obviously, improve yourself. So that means in all areas, obviously.
Yeah.
And if you're at a point where you think, oh, I can improve myself, that means you're looking from the outside in. All right.
Yep.
That's the spiritual part of it to a sense, because you're aware. There's an awareness of like,
I need to improve.
Can work on this guy.
Yeah.
I can work on this guy. How does this guy feel? You're a little bit in tuned.
Yeah.
And what I think everyone should ask themselves is the framework of like, what do you need to do there to feel good about yourself? What do you need to do to respect yourself? To the bare minimum, not the most, doesn't necessarily mean the highest version.
Yeah.
But just look at there's easy ones, you know what I mean?
Just keep your house in order. That's all it is.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is everyone's got a standard. Everyone's got a playbook of what they think they should be.
Correct.
Like, if they're thinking like, I'm exactly where I need to be, blah, 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 good luck to them.
Sweet.
They're mad cunts, you know what I mean? But it's not anybody else's voice talking to you. It's who are you in absence of all negativities, I guess, in a nutshell.
Yes, exactly.
What is that mad cunt version of
if you're being stripped bare, who are you? What's left?
Correct. And I think that's the only... And the more you peel back that layer or you're closer to that person, you become more, I guess, in love with who you are because you're like, I got pride for who this person is. You know what I mean?
That's it. Yeah, get rid of all the add-ons.
Yeah, and this person is this person because not only are they that person, they can also, this person also performs and carries themselves in a certain way.
Correct.
There might be someone who makes money, whatever, someone who's healthy, someone who's respectful, who gets respect. There's certain things. It's up to you. You know what the truth is, I don't know if someone really thinks like, let's say you got a big nose. Are you like, I'd like to have a smaller nose? Do you reckon that's a thing? Maybe.
Of course it's a thing.
It's a thing. Yeah. Because I get confused sometimes with it, like, how far are we feeding into insecurities? There feels like there's a fine line between...
Look, the way I can see it, like,
yeah.
if you rock up to a party, all right?
Like, if you're like, I want to be taller.
So, yeah, well, good
like
luck.
Maybe you have to get over that.
Good luck, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But in your head, how do you reconcile with I'll never be that and I'm happy,
So you don't have to be that. What's the reason you need to be taller?
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, you got to ask them that, right?
Yeah.
That's
so
like...
it's coming from an insecure...
Correct. Because they think that they're disadvantaged somehow.
Bravo, that's how you judge it.
Yeah.
There's a disadvantage.
That's what it is. But the thing is, which is fine, because that's what they think. Okay, no problem. But because it's lopsided, they don't see the other side of the coin. Sweet, you want to be taller? No problem. It's just a feeling. Okay? I want to be taller. And that's where it is. Most people don't go past that.
Bravo.
Okay? Now, I would ask, sweet, what's the reason?
Correct.
Do you play basketball and you can't reach the fucking, the ring? What's the reason?
Bravo.
But they don't get to the reason because they're just still stuck with, I just want to be taller. Like, same thing like, I just want to be richer. I just want $1 billion in my bank account. Sweet, no problem. But why? They don't know why.
Yeah.
And I know it sounds crazy.
No, this is good.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
They're not past why. They haven't got a plan. They just want to feel warm and fuzzy. Okay? By having these things that apparently they don't have.
Okay.
And they're always chasing the I don't have.
Correct. And it's usually from an external thing.
That's it.
All right. So that's how you separate. Because sometimes I'm talking to people or I'm even thinking about when I want to explain this to someone.
Yeah.
Think about who you like and how you see yourself. All right. I got a picture of how I see Ken in the world and operating. And brother that you said it because I was always trying to think, how am I going to differentiate the insecurity? I want to be tall or let's say, you're a woman, you want to have fucking bigger tits or like,
Sorry.
I always think to myself, how do I reconcile, is having bigger tits going to be like, oh, that's, if I get that, I'm going to be fucking happy. Or, is that allowed?
They believe that's true.
Yeah, they believe that's true. But are we to say that it's only not true because if it comes from an insecure perspective, it's not. It can't be real.
Correct. It can't be real. It's just a instant gratification. That's all it is. Because once they get the big tits or some miracle they will stretch them, they'll taller. I don't know, right?
I'm not saying as a man, some cunts want to be
whatever.
taller. I don't know.
That's what. But I'm just saying whatever this is. Even the $1 million or $1 billion, whatever it is, if it landed in this person's bank account, they wouldn't know what the fuck to do with it.
All right. Cool. So when we're building up a picture, this is beautiful what you said there.
Yeah.
Now I got it in my head. It's bang. It's the insecurity. That's how we choose this person. So now as we're choosing our own version, that good version of ourselves, that, that fucking high level version, we have to differentiate. Because when I think of myself, I think of like, I've got cash, I've got things taken care of. Now, how do I know that I've got to check myself and think like, all right, does that cash, if I don't have the cash, how do I differentiate it's not coming from an insecurity? It's a tough one because cash in and of itself is fucking security.
Look,
to a
look, cash.
Let's play with it.
There's a value in cash, and it's a necessity. You know what I mean? In this reality that we live in, you need to have some kind of income. All right. Now, it depends how you're leading with it. For example, if you listen to people like Bashar and all that, it's like that's one form of abundance. One form. All right? Now...
That's a symptom. That's all right. Go.
No, that's right. You guys, it's one form of abundance, right? I'll tell you this little story and I'll come back to it, right?
Go.
So it talks about this lady that, she wanted to go over, she wanted to travel the world. She was a photographer, wanted to travel the world, but she had no money. All right? And then she basically went to the airlines and said, listen, I've got no money pretty much, and I want to travel the world. I want you guys to send me all over the world. And in return, I'll give you these beautiful photos that I take. Anyway, she asked a couple of airlines. One airline was like, no problem. So they put her on flights, travel all over the world, hotels, the whole thing, and they paid her, which wasn't part of the deal. It wasn't part of a thing. Oh, she just want to go traveling, okay? But because she wasn't limited, like, hey, I need to go overseas and travel, but I need money, and only money can do this. Okay?
Yep.
She wasn't limited. She was just like, no problem. I'm open to all forms of abundance.
Yes.
Because she didn't have physically the cash, and she didn't win the lottery to go overseas, but she went to the airline, and the airline paid for everything. So she went on her travels, but she also got paid for it as well. So that wasn't limited either. So she got multiple forms of abundance from only one thought of basically, I just want to do this.
Yeah.
She wasn't going to close herself off. Now, my point is that you do need money, all right? But if you're not going to go do something, maybe money is not the only thing that, for example, like...
To make it happen.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
So you can't be like, oh, I can't do this because I don't have the cash for it.
That's a limited belief on your behalf, obviously.
Exactly.
I gotcha.
There's many ways you can achieve this.
To get what you want.
And as we were saying last time about like, the analogy of the fisherman of like, this rich guy goes from New York City, is a, hedge fund guy, goes to this little village in Mexico. Now I'm paraphrasing, I don't know exactly the story, but, and goes to him, what do you do every day? Goes, I just fish every day and come home, wait lunch with my wife, I have a bit of a nap, and then at night we go to to a cafe, whatever, I play the guitar, my friends, we sing and all that. That's my life. And he tells him like, we're fishing and that, you can make money. He goes, yeah, but he goes, what's the point of all this? He goes, you make money, whatever. And once I've got this money, what do I do with it? And he goes, then you can pretty much buy a little house, do some fishing, and, do what you're currently doing. So the perspective of basically money is everything is bullshit.
Yep.
Okay? There's multiple forms of abundance. Okay? And if you really want to do something, there's plenty of ways you can do it.
Yeah. Yeah, correct.
So we're not going to be fixated with basically this is the only way. When you say this is the only way, you're definitely closing that way. Money ain't going to come. But you're also closing every other way. So no one's going to, hook you up or something,
The opportunity for it to materialize.
It ain't going to happen.
Bravo. You're getting more options. I feel like you're giving the universe more clay to build a picture.
Correct.
Bravo.
Correct.
And that's why sometimes I feel like, because I always reflect on the things that I get, and everyone should fucking reflect on the things that you get, the little wins that sometimes it goes undercover because it's not exactly the way you thought it was going to be, but you're still getting the end result. I think it's important to not only be grateful, but to reflect, because the more you see wins and positivity and this is always happening, just the more you see. Well, you know what I'm trying to say?
100%.
So your bias is always open to you gaining.
That's it, rather than losing.
Correct. So you need to be looking at the scoreboard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The I don't have compared to the I do have is huge. And we're talking about the other day, like,
the haves and the have-nots, you know what I mean?
That's right. Most people's reality is like, I don't have money to do this, so I don't have money to do that. And I said, money is useful, obviously, but it's the lens you look it through. Okay, but if you had to see that, hey, and you said the other day, mate, I'm just grateful that I've got these sneakers that I can just walk and so comfortable.
That's right.
And I said the other day is like, I've got my children, like my friends, my family, like I've got comfortable shoes as well, like we can go on a walk, you know, just all these basic things that we could do. I'm doing every single day anyway, and that is in itself a form of abundance, joy, pleasure, all these things that we really want.
Yeah, how is that materializing?
Exactly, you know what I mean? And it's got nothing to do with money. But once you start being grateful about these things and your mind's off the things that you want, the things that you want end up coming because you're not fixated on them.
No.
That's it. And the way...
You're not lopsided on them, you're not...
Exactly. And then this all ties into surrendering, allowing faith.
Bravo. Hell yeah.
That's all it is.
That's exactly what it is.
Now, we're not saying it happens overnight because it doesn't.
No.
Okay?
But it can.
It can, all right? But for most people, it doesn't happen overnight because what the universe or God always does, and this is a fact, it always tests you.
Yep.
If you think you've changed, okay, it's going to test you to see if you're talking shit or not. So it's going to throw you some scenarios. So the last podcast we talked about the echoes that Bashar uses. You know, it's going to show you. All right, sweet. You know, you're struggling with cash, but you're thinking like, oh, I don't need cash. I'm enjoying my life and my family is good. I'm being grateful. Sweet, it's all good. Then a nice speeding fine's going to come, or another bill's going to come. Let's see how you react to it.
Yeah.
That's it.
I'm not going to react to it today.
That's it.
Because going to get fucked.
That's the test. Even though it's not related, that's the test because you initially wanted money, but you're like, oh, I'm grateful. I don't need, millions of dollars. I'm grateful with it, whatever. But when that speeding fine comes, you can't pay for it with your children. You got to pay for it with cash.
Correct. So you got to work it out.
Exactly.
But that's why, bravo, that I'm thinking about this now is like now you understand how much I protect my energy.
Yeah.
So the speeding fine comes, even though it's bad. Don't fuck my signal up, cunt.
Yeah.
I'm not going to allow it. I'm not going to put it in there and start stirring the fucking pot today.
100%.
Oh, this really needs to happen. I don't need this now.
It's trying to get you off track.
It's regardless if you need it, if it's bad timing, if it's kicking you in the nuts. It's all irrelevant today. It's like it's happened. It's a thing that's happened today. Are you going to let it fucking bog you down or not today?
Yeah.
Are you going to identify with that?
That's it. So basically with us in this, reality we live in and the people we know, all right, where money is needed is that obviously you need a food and shelter over your head, right? Sweet. But everyone we know, every single person we know has got all that. Every single person.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Yes.
Okay? Because a standard 9 to 5 will give you all this.
Correct.
Okay? And I'm not talking about luxury. I'm talking about the standard stuff. All right? Food and shelter.
Food
all right?
and shelter.
Now, these are necessities which it takes care of. And I don't know nobody, personally, that's complaining about the necessities. No one.
Yes.
I don't have food to eat. I don't know nobody.
No.
Personally. All right? And it does exist, obviously, people in the world, obviously. But people we know, all right? So everyone we know, including ourselves, all right, are only complaining about wants, not necessities.
Correct.
Like I want $1 million, or I want to, live in Greece for 6 months a year, or, I want a brand new car, I want 10 investment properties, you know what I mean? That's what we're complaining about.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, bravo.
And that's it. That's the shit that...
Yeah, it's all the wants.
That's it. It doesn't matter.
It's all the insecurities.
Shit. That's right. Exactly. And that's what keeps us off track.
Yeah, so let's spend time thinking about the real stuff we really want. All right? Who we really want to be.
Yeah, not only that, but let's think about the stuff that we've currently got.
As well.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What we do have. And when you say the want... Look, let's say I'm overweight now and I want to start losing weight. You've already got this. You haven't... You got the ability to do this. It's not something like, oh, I'm waiting for the outside to help me lose weight. You know what I mean?
You're the boss.
That's it. You can do this right now. You don't need money. You don't need anything. You've got the health. You're healthy enough to go for a run.
Yep.
You know, you've got the finances to eat clean.
That's right.
All right. This is not wants. This is I've currently got this. You've got it.
You got it. Yeah, correct. And I think you got to spend more time, like you're saying, doing like a stock take.
Correct.
Thinking about, so the way I think about it is like, all right, for instance, lucky I've got this jacket, because if I didn't, I'd be fucking freezing my ass off, for instance. And there's many of those, if I didn't have, things that we take for granted that we miss, you got to look at it as like, that would drain my life if that wasn't like that for me at the moment. For whatever, insert.
100%.
Whatever the fuck you're going to insert today.
Yeah. Like I just realization like in January, all right, when my son was born, 4 days after my son was born, I did my back disc bulge. All right?
Yeah.
So 4 days after, I was fucked. I was in bed for 7 days.
Back.
7 fucking days. I couldn't go to the
get
toilet.
off the floor.
I was fucked. I was sleeping on the floor.
Yeah.
I couldn't move from the floor.
Back.
All right? At that point in time, the only thing I wanted was to walk.
Oh my God.
Walk.
Oh.
That's it. And I was thinking, like, I was praying, like, God, I just want to be able to walk.
Oh my God.
And today I'm walking.
Yep. Yeah.
But I saw it then. I was like, fuck, if I was able to walk, I could do anything.
Ugh.
Perspective, huh?
Correct. And you gotta. That's why some people don't have an imagination. I feel sorry for the cunts, but you got to imagine yourself in a hypothetically shit situation to make the one you've got. How do you make it stand apart?
Yeah, but it's also, I said to before the start of the podcast, it's also awareness, right? Like, are you aware that your heart's beating? No one's aware of it.
No
one's like every day, like, oh my God, I can feel it. Everyone's just delusional, and they're just so far away into this thought about, how they want to be, where they want to be, rather than where they are.
Or what they're missing out on.
Exactly.
And all this shit.
You're breathing every single second.
Take it for granted.
You know what I mean? These things here, one of these things gets shut off, you're gone.
You're gone now.
But we're not grateful for these things. And I'm not saying that I'm 24/7 either. I'm guilty as charged.
We're all guilty.
Right? But the more you start tapping into this, fuck, I'm able to walk. I can breathe. My heart's beating. I really have my health. Just that sort of stuff. If you do more of that stuff, it ties into what you're saying before, that if I have more of these thoughts all day, day to day, they compound.
Correct.
That's the investment.
That's right.
One of the investments.
That's right. You see more of the blessings there.
Exactly. And then all the things that you do want, again, will come, because you're not fixated on them. You're being grateful for what you currently have. And again, going to God already knows what you want. The universe already knows what you want and what you need.
100%.
That's it. So you don't have to go and get them.
You don't have to go and get them, mate.
They're on the way.
They're on the way somewhere.
So, and that's what we're practicing now. Like, basically doing what we need to do. I'm not saying sit on the fucking couch and, I believe in God, mate, and I don't have to go to work and I don't have to do anything. I'm not saying that.
You got to do shit.
Yeah, you're just doing your shit, okay, because they're the needs.
Yep.
But you're not doing shit and stressing over the wants.
Correct. You got to have skin in the game, but if you want to change.
That's it. Needs and wants. Needs and wants.
Needs and wants, eh? And no one's going to change your life for you, eh?
Yeah.
I like, just maybe, are we finishing up?
Yeah.
I like to just finish up and say, I was listening to a podcast with Hamosi and this other cunt. His name is, I don't know, he's an Assyrian bloke. They're talking about religion a lot today. And Hamosi says this, which I like. He goes, I have strong beliefs held loosely.
Very good. Exactly what we've been saying.
Correct.
Yeah. Expectation.
That's right, today. That's right. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
it. I think we cracked the code.
100%. No, no one's telling you don't have wants. I hope the whole world's got plenty of wants and plenty of imagination,
That's right.
you know, and become very go-getters and go get this sort of shit and create shit. You know what I mean? I love that. We're all for that. It's, who's driving that?
Correct.
Because if you don't get it today or tomorrow or the day after, whatever, are you going to lose your mind? If you're not going to lose your mind, you're sweet. Keep on going. But if you start like, I expect to have it in this time frame, there's an issue.
Yeah, correct. Correct.
So yeah, I think
The journey continues, eh?
clear as crystal.
Okay, let's wrap it up.
That's it.
See you later. Yeah.